Marvel Spotlight issue number 5 from Marvel, obviously. And this is from 1972. This is the very first appearance of Ghost Rider. So yeah, basically, I've been wanting to do more retro comic reviews. I did a few for Jack Kirby Week, and I really enjoyed those comics, and I actually enjoyed making those videos. So I kind of wanted to do a couple more, and the reason why I'm doing one for this week is actually because I don't know what to do a review on for the new comics that came out this week. I mean, I could do Man of Steel, but to be honest, I don't know if there's like a lot I can talk about in that issue. I will say this: that issue actually came out a lot better than I was expecting it to be. I'm still a little bit wary about Bendis. I'm not going to give him a pass just yet. I'm going to give him a couple chances. I'm gonna read the first few issues of the Man of Steel and see how it goes. I will say this though: Bendis really needs to cut back on the dialogue. Like, holy crap, is that issue wordy as hell? Like, the very first page is actually, well, it's actually a two-page spread. It's just like nothing but dialogue bubbles. It's like someone needs to just tell Bendis, hey, this is a visual medium. You can show and not tell. You don't have to spam every panel with dialogue upon dialogue. So I just feel like there wasn't enough content there that I can do a video on. What else came out? Doomsday Clock. Doomsday Clock though, I feel like I want to give it more time. I want to give it maybe another read over or two before I do a review on it, if I decide to do a review on it. Just because there's a lot to take in. But it was a really good issue. Like anyone who's like on the fence about Doomsday Clock, definitely pick it up. And this is coming from someone who absolutely hates Watchmen. And I know I'll get a lot of flack for that, but I found Watchmen just to be very boring. And I'm gonna say something, and I know I'm gonna probably piss off a lot of people, but I absolutely I don't care about Alan Moore's work. I find him to be highly overrated. I do like Hellblazer. I mean, I freaking love Hellblazer, so I'll give him props for that. But other than that, I really I don't care about Alan Moore's work. So from someone who hates Watchmen but loves Doomsday Clock, I mean, highly I recommend it. Pick it up. Anyways, I'm starting to ramble, so let's just cut right into this review. So obviously this is a digital copy that I'm gonna do a review on. But yeah, this is this is Marvel Spotlight issue number 5. Came out in 1972, and this is the first appearance of Ghost Rider, conceived and written by Gary. Interesting thing about Ghost Rider, Gary actually came up with a character called Hell Rider, and let me describe Hell Rider a little bit and see if you guys notice any similarities. So Hell Rider basically wore a black leather outfit, and he rode around in a motorcycle. The motorcycle shot flames. Yeah. You guys can check out Hell Rider. It's in. You can check out more information on the public domain comic website. I forgot what that was called. I think it's like PDSH Wikipedia. But yeah, it's like public domain comics. Hell Rider's on there. It only had 2 issues. I guess it had 3 issues made, but only 2 of them actually got published. I want to see if I can track them down because they sound interesting. Basically, it's about this guy named Brick Reese, awesome name by the way, who was drafted into Vietnam. He got wounded by a bullet that was shot into the base of his skull. It was inoperable. So Brick grants the doctor permission to undergo this experiment called Q47. After a month of taking this Q47 drug, the bullet dissolves, and Brick gains like superhuman strength. Yeah, he creates like this souped-up motorcycle with a flamethrower attached to it, and he goes out and uses it to fight crime. So I mean, you can tell that Ghost Rider was heavily influenced by Gary's previous work. I mean, I know there's the Phantom Rider, but I'm talking about the Johnny Blaze version of Ghost Rider. You can tell it was like heavily influenced by Hell Rider. You know what? I've been reading the Marvel Spotlight Ghost Rider, and I love how like it starts off and he'll like use one word, and then he'll like almost like poetry with it. Like for this one, it goes rain, engulfing the city in a damp blanket of gloom. Rain, pounding down on the skull that once was the head of a normal man. Rain, combining with the black loneliness of night to beat a mournful cadence which cries, "You are now the Ghost Rider." We start with basically Ghost Rider just riding through the city, lamenting the fact that he's a monster now, basically. And as he's driving by, he sees two guys murder someone and steal their money. And rather than stop to help or anything, he just keeps on going because he doesn't want anyone to witness his horrifying appearance, which I thought was actually kind of interesting because usually, like, you'll have heroes going out of the way to help people or at least, stop criminals. But Ghost Rider, like, he literally sees a murder taking place and he just keeps on driving. It reminds me very much of Escape from New York. Fantastic movie. There's a scene where Snake Plissken is going through this building. He comes across, like, this gang who have this woman, like, she's like drugged up or something, like she's kind of like unconscious, and they're stripping off her clothes, and it's obvious what they're about to do to her. And Snake just kind of looks at them for a moment, and then he just keeps on walking. Yeah, he is definitely not a hero. So I don't know why, that just kind of reminded me of that. So of course he takes off, and the two thugs chase him down because they saw him witnessing their murder, and they're scared that he might turn them into the cops. So they chase after Ghost Rider. He ducks into an alley, and it's a dead end, and the thugs chase after him, and they see his flaming skull, and they think it's a mask of some kind, which kind of funny. Johnny Blaze, obviously, he doesn't want to fight them, so he tries to scare them off, so he uses his powers from Satan to light the floor in front of them on fire. And it still doesn't freak them out because they think, oh, this is just special effects. We still got to get him because he witnessed our murder. Yeah, Johnny gets on a motorcycle and he rides off a plank, hops right over the thugs, and takes off, and he's able to lose them. And then daylight comes, and Johnny turns back into his regular human self. He goes down to Madison Square Garden where he's about to do a stunt, a motorcycle stunt. And as he's waiting for the show to start, we get like a flashback of his life. So yeah, his parents died, and basically the Simpsons took him in, and Johnny befriended their daughter Roxanne, and basically he watched as they did motorcycle stunts, and after a while he kind of wanted to be a part of it. So he asked them, if they can teach him how to ride motorcycles. So he starts doing tricks with Roxanne. And then eventually he's doing a trick when the bike catches on fire. And Johnny is able to jump off just as it crashes into a tree. And Mrs. Simpson runs over to see if he's okay when the bike explodes. And she gets fatally injured. And on her deathbed, she begs Johnny to promise her to never perform in the show again. So he promises that. He lives up to that promise. And of course, Mr. Simpson, Crash Simpson, basically thinks that he's a coward and calls him out on it. And then Roxanne joins in and believes that he's a coward as well. Johnny kind of realizes that, he loves riding motorcycles, and he only promised to never ride on in the show. He never promised Mrs. Simpson that he wouldn't ride, in his free time. So he continues to do that, and Roxanne discovers him riding in secret and questions him about it, and he tells her, I promised your mother on your deathbed that I would never ride in the show. And they make up, and yeah, basically they're in a relationship together. And Crash is basically, he has some kind of sickness. He's going to die soon, and he wants to do one last stunt before he goes, but it's dangerous. Roxanne begs Johnny to take the spot instead, and Johnny basically says, I can't do it. You know why? And of course she says, it must be true. You are a coward. And at this point, I'm just like, bitch, please. Like, he literally made a promise to your mother on her deathbed. You know this, and yet you want him to break a promise to your mother on her deathbed? Like, that's so instead of writing in the show, Johnny summons Satan. Yeah, Johnny summons the devil and says, I'll give you my soul, and in return, don't let Crash die from his disease. And the deal is struck. The next day, the show's about to start. Crash still wants to do the stunt, even though it's super dangerous, and nothing Johnny or Roxanne can do will talk him out of it. So he does the stunt, fails. He ends up crashing, gets injured, and actually dies. Yeah, basically, the devil is kind of a backstabber, but kind of kept to his word. It's the whole monkey's paw Crash didn't die from the disease. He died from a stunt. So, and Johnny, I don't know what compels him to do this, but he decides, you know what, the show has to go on, so he gets on the motorcycle and he does the stunt himself. And he makes the stunt. And then the first thing he says to Roxanne is, "How was that? Not bad for a coward, huh?" And she's logically upset because she's like, "How could you do that stunt immediately after my dad just died? Like, he was just wheeled away in the ambulance, and you go and do the stunt that just killed him." So Johnny is at home and he's emoing out and just being basically very upset with himself when the devil comes to take his soul. But then Roxanne shows up and I thought this was funny. She's like, "Johnny, I wanted to." "No, no, I suspected it, but I didn't want to believe it." I'm like, "You suspected Johnny made a deal with the devil?" What? That's a really random thing to suspect from your boyfriend. I thought maybe he was, making deals with the devil, but I wasn't sure. But now I know. But yeah, she tells Zane to back off, and because Roxanne is like so pure of heart and soul, the Zane can't do anything. So Zane can't take Johnny's soul. As long as Roxanne is close to Johnny, Zane can't claim Johnny's soul. So they fall asleep, and yeah, the next day, Johnny, he sees a newspaper where the killers that were chasing him were caught by a mysterious ghostwriter. Now the police are trying to hunt down this ghostwriter fella. And Johnny's like, "I have to leave New York. I have to find someplace to hide where no one can ever see me again." And then he turns into the ghostwriter again. He rides off. And that's how the first issue ends, and that's the very first appearance of Ghost Rider. Very awesome. Like I said, like I enjoy doing these retro reviews. I might do more of them because I really like them, and it gives me an excuse to read a bunch of classic comics. Like I said, I finished all the Marvel Spotlight Ghost Rider issues, and I'm gonna track down the very first issue of Ghost Rider. Just Ghost Rider, not Marvel Spotlight, but just Ghost Rider. I've also been reading the classic Ninja Turtles Mirage comics. I'm on. I've read the first 3 issues. I might do a review on those. Those are like freaking amazing. I love them. I'm only 3 issues in, but yeah, I'm loving them so far. So I don't know. Why don't you guys tell me what you think? Should I do more retro reviews, more like classic comic book reviews, or should I just mostly focus on new issues coming out? If I do more retro reviews, obviously this isn't going to be just nothing but retro reviews. I will still continue doing ongoing comics. So why don't you guys let me know? But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. The quick plugs. I have a Patreon, I have a PayPal. You can find those in the links below. But all I really want you guys to do is just help grow this channel by sharing it, getting it out there, sharing videos, tweeting stuff out. I'm trying to hit at least 300 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm about 250. So, I mean, I think I can maybe do it. I think it's a possible goal. I know it seems like very small, but I'm just going to keep chugging away, and hopefully this channel will start growing. But if you guys can help by just spreading the word, that would be awesome. I have a Minds.com and I have a BitChute. You guys can find those also in the link below. Those are just basically mirror sites. I don't put anything exclusive on those. I have a Twitch, which I stream every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Please subscribe if you guys haven't already. Hit the bell for notification. If you guys enjoy this video, leave a like, comment down below. I always try to answer. Most of the people who comment, I try to respond in some way. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want to see more retro comics, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Take care, and I will catch you next time. Later.